someone with a lot of childhood trauma, also known as CPTSD, they struggle a lot with negative thinking, with not doing negative thinking. They're much more likely to get into a negative mindset and a negative headspace, and it's going to be much harder for them to get out of it. But it's their habitual to actually be in a much more consistent, regular, ongoing negative headspace. And many things can trigger them to go overboard and potentially relapse after 1 or 2 days into addictions or habits like that. Any various forms of self-sabotage, even potential self-harm. And as an ongoing rule, they do tend to be, like I said, much more critical, nitpicky, negative, and fault-finding in people and situations. So they'd be more of a doom and gloom, a party pooper, an excitement spoiler. When other people are in a very positive mood or excited about something or a new project, they'll be much more likely to be being negative or downer about it, okay? So in a way, they're at risk if they get too stressed or overwhelmed. So in relationships, or even just relations that aren't romantic, I feel we got to be careful with people like this. We've got to both protect ourselves from people like this with so much compassion as well, but also be careful to protect them from themselves in a way, by not overly arguing or stressing or bickering or fighting or discussing things that they just find so overwhelming and stressful to even discuss, whereas we may not, or we may, but maybe just not as much as them. So it's very complicated for people with complicated trauma, complex repeated childhood trauma. And most people on planet Earth have a certain degree of complex trauma for sure, but some people have a lot more. And this video is got to do with people with a medium to high level. So yeah, what else was I going to say there? Various things that can trigger people with complex trauma to go into more of an elevated negative headspace and negative thinking and overwhelm and feeling unsafe is things like change of job, change of home, like uncertainty, things that affect or question or threaten their safety and security, such as related to living conditions, money, landlord, rent, just safety and security. It's hard for them to find. They need to have a stable ground to feel safe, otherwise they'll be airy and they'll find it very difficult to cope and handle life. So people with CPTSD typically find it a struggle to handle life and handle themselves, their own headspace, their own mental and emotional state of being and well-being. So what they want to do as a solution is try and learn and understand their habits, and instead of spring to judgment, because they can be very judgmental, like I said, just pause, look where the deeper issues coming from their childhood, how they were treated. Pause before acting and reacting and being critical or negative, and start trying a new habit of thinking and being more encouraging or validating or positive. Try this whole new way of being, which at the beginning will feel very alien and unusual, even embarrassing, to try not to be so negative and critical or fault finding, but to be actually positive and encouraging or supportive and validating someone else how they feel, so they'll be much more supportive themselves, because they definitely need the support. They definitely need it very strongly, and so that's a solution. as well as just learning about CPTSD. One person I'd recommend the most would be from Tim Fletcher. That's Tim Fletcher, Tim. He's a brilliant teacher on CPTSD and childhood trauma. And I suppose that's pretty much the main thing I really want to say in this video. People in general, and people especially with CPTSD, we gotta, because I'm part of it. It wouldn't be as high a level now, and I've healed a lot, but it was significant. But it wasn't like I'm describing in this video to that extent at all. Nothing like that. But they gotta really look after themselves. Self-care, self-love, self-protection. Fill your cup. Do all the good stuff. Look after your body, mind, spirit, emotional needs, social needs, creative needs. And then stop going to the people, places and environments that empty your cup or drain you. So fill up and stop the drain, and then that'll really help you in life to feel good. You need to look after yourself. So have utmost compassion, and try and get onto healthy habits and patterns, and away from the negative, self-defeating and self-sabotaging patterns and habits and behaviors. And try and avoid the big risk, the slide, where getting overwhelmed or stressed can just make you go down a big slide of negativity into hopelessness, where you just don't even want to just give up. What's the heck? Why am I even bothering? What's the point in even trying? And then you relapse into some sort of negativity or addiction or other negative patterns. So look after yourself and try and avoid those things. And hopefully the people close to you can help you not go overboard, where you go down a big slide and just go backwards a lot. So yeah.